Hi, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Coach Sherry, and today is day 40, is it 47 of going live every day for 90 days. That is a challenge that I started 47 days ago, so I'm happy to be here. If you are new to this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. So today is just Friday live stream. I couldn't come up with another title. It's going to be a very busy but exciting weekend for me and my family. And just can't wait. And because I'm going live every day, you will see some pieces of it. I'm also doing some pre records because a lot of my lives I do are faceless, and that just tends to work better for me in the evenings, especially after a long day. That's the great thing. If you are new to being a content creator and you may have some some hesitations on going live, I recommend that you try doing the faceless live. There is nothing wrong with it. There are quite a few content creators that are doing exceptionally well that use that type of system, and it really works out. So this way you don't have to do any kind of setup, and if you just want to relax and talk with your audience, talk with your subscribers, and share your content, then you can do that without really showing your face. But I do know that people prefer when you are, you know, on camera and everything. I look at also the faceless as being part of a podcast. So YouTube does have that podcast option. And I'm noticing that a lot of content creators are not taking advantage of the podcast option. And I have about 20 or so videos that I have uploaded onto that podcast tab, and all of them are live. And so I definitely have set them up that way. Some of them I knew I was going to do it as a podcast, and some I just felt like the content was worthy of being part of a podcast. I probably should have turned more lighting on, but I hope that you all can see me well enough. And if you are new to my channel, check out some more of my content. I also do shorts, and I did a short today about the month of May. Y'all, I don't know about you, but May to me is flying by, and it's moving by so fast. It's as if it has some place to go. It has something to do. And I'm trying to figure out, where is May trying to go? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel that May is flying by like it has another purpose? And I'm excited to see what June has to offer, but I want to enjoy May a little bit longer. And I know my daughter, who is graduating on Sunday, my youngest of three, is graduating from college. We are 3 out of 3, y'all. That is a blessing that I do not take advantage or take for granted. But I know she wished that this time was going a little bit slower. She's one of those people, and this is how I was too, savoring every moment. Life is going to happen, and God willing, you'll wake up the next day, and or even God willing that you're able to lay down tonight. Um, but as long as you're living, life is going to continue on. And so savoring each moment, knowing that the next best thing is going to come. If you're looking forward to something, it's going to happen. So trying to rush time through, that's not going to that's not going to help the situation at all. And so many people always are like, "Oh, I can't wait till this happens. I can't wait to do this," or, "Oh, this date is coming too slow. Oh, I can't wait to go on vacation. I'm getting ready to get married. I can't wait to the wedding. I can't wait to the honeymoon. I can't." Well, guess what? It's going to happen. And then when it happens, it's going to be over in a blink of an eye. So, my advice to you is to enjoy every single moment that's leading up to that special occasion, as well as the special occasion itself. I remember when we were planning our wedding, and it was mostly me because my husband was in California. Well, he was my fiance at the time, and I was back and forth every month flying to LA from New York. And luckily I was young because I could not imagine doing that. And especially because on my way back, I always took the red eye, and oh, it was just a lot. It was a lot. but it was a great experience, and I made sure to savor every moment. And I remember before, I selected my bridesmaids and my attendees, I was like, listen, this is a lot. It's a lot going on. I was in grad school, I was working, and again, I was flying back and forth to LA. And I just let them know some of my expectations without trying to be too bossy, or, what they call it, the bride from hell. I didn't want to be that, but I did want to let them know what my expectations were so that they can make that decision. Did they want to be in the wedding or not? I wanted them all to be in it, absolutely, but I understood that they may have had other things going on. I didn't want them to feel like they had to do it. But I did say, if you're going to commit, then I need you to commit 100%. And I remember it was at my parents' house, and my mother had kind of like a tea party luncheon for everyone. And we were all in my parents' dining room and, had that discussion. Now, this was before, internet. This was before cell phones. It was before any of those things. And I remember I don't know if it was every week or every month leading up to my wedding, I would make a newsletter. I would type up a newsletter and send it to all of my bridesmaids to keep them updated of where we were with the arrangements, because they also lived in all different areas. The majority of them were my line sisters. And then one of my dearest friends that I grew up with and who was my roommate all 4 years in college, and also one of my other dear friends who was in my crew for high school. But and my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, was in my wedding too. And so I had quite a few women, between bridesmaids and attendees that were more like hostesses, that I was just trying to make sure that everyone was on point, and that, things would go smoothly. I knew we were going to expect a lot of people. We ended up having 400 guests. And you know how they say, a percentage of your guests that RSVP that they are going to be there don't show up. Well, y'all, that was not the case for us. Everyone that said they were coming came, and it was a blessing. It really was. I remember at the wedding, at the ceremony, not the ceremony, at the reception, my husband and I looked around and we were like, all of these people in here love us. They are all here for us and they love us. And that was just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So I hope that if you are getting married or have gotten married, that you've had wonderful experiences where, things went smoothly, and the people that came, you knew that they loved you for sure. I see Rudy with autism is in the building. I appreciate you for tuning in. And thank you. You always put the timestamp of when you come in, and you are an hour behind. We are Eastern Standard Time here, but I appreciate you taking the time out to put that in the chat. So thank you. So, yeah, May has been going by so fast. It seems like yesterday, not only when my daughter went to college, but it seems like yesterday that she was born. Oh, it's amazing the things that you remember and that impact your life because they were so memorable. But then again, it just time doesn't wait for anyone. So that's why it's important to live each day on purpose and do something great, because you just don't know where that day will end and who you need to impact for that day. I see Marlene Motivates is in the building. Welcome in. How are you doing today? How are things going? How is your neck of the woods by the beach? I love the beach so much. One of my friend's daughters, she got married right after COVID, I want to say. Yeah. Well, technically we're still in COVID in some form or fashion, but she just said her and her husband are going to move by the beach, and I just think that's so exciting, to live close to the water in that way. I've lived by the lake. I've lived in lake communities quite a bit, but it's something about that ocean and the waves and that sea water, that salt water, and just the movement and the fact that a lot of lakes, um, some of them are God made and, were there like that, but some are man made, and quite a few of them I'm finding are man made. So I prefer the things that were God made because they just seem to, I don't know, the flow of them are different. Yes. Oh, 8 minutes from the beach. That must be wonderful. I promise. I really would be at the beach every day. I don't care what the weather would be. I would be there for sure. Do you go often to the beach? I'm glad that you're doing great. Do you go often? I would walk the beach all the time. And walking on sand, even though, it seems like it's easy enough, it it's definitely more challenging than walking on grass or pavement. It's something about maybe the density of it and how some of it is very packed and hard, but then some of the sand that you're still walking on could be soft. So it's like different terrains that you're walking on. And I always feel like my legs are a lot stronger when I've walked on the beach for several days in a row because it's just the sand, it just hits different. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're taking advantage of it. Yes. Yes, walking on the beach is great exercise. And my favorite beach, and many people know this, and I think I've said it too much because now a lot of people are starting to go, but my favorite beach in the United States, in all of the United States, be it Hawaii, wherever. My favorite beach is Destin. Destin, Florida has the most beautiful beaches. It's on the Emerald Coast and the sands are pure white. I remember the first time we went and we got there at night and the sand was so white, it looked like snow. It was so beautiful. When we lived in New Orleans, that's where everyone in New Orleans would go to the beach because it's not that far. It's like 3 to 4 hours from New Orleans. So when you go to Destin, you'll see a lot of Louisiana plates, Texas plates, Alabama plates, Florida plates, of course. But, we went to Clearwater a couple of months ago because people would always say to me, "Oh, you think Destin is all that? You need to check out Clearwater." Well, we did, and Clearwater was nice, but it still wasn't Destin. Destin sand is not only white, but it's extremely soft and very, very fine. So when you walk on it, even if your legs or your feet or your body is wet, it doesn't stick to you like mud, like a Myrtle Beach or Virginia Beach type of East Coast, northern East type of beaches. So when you lay on it, it lays on you like powdered sugar, more or less. And no matter how hot it is outside, that sand always stays cool. And I remember at one point, I had looked up what the sand was made out of in Destin. I can't remember. But yes, I know it's great for mental health. That's why, oof, if I lived near the beach, I would be so on point. Yo wouldn't know what to do with me. Yo would not know what to do with me because I get so much peace and my thoughts. Oof, my thoughts are amazing. I'm gonna look up how what is the sand in um Destin made out of? What is the sand in Destin, Florida made out of? Let's see. Let me see what it comes up. And you have never been to Destin. I've been to Sarasota as well. When my husband and I were doing our real estate development, that's where we had a conference, a builders conference that was in Sarasota. And I remember it was a great time. Our kids were very young, and my parents came with us, and they stayed with the kids while my husband and I were at the conference. And the beaches there were nice, and the beaches there reminded me a lot of California beaches for some reason, but it was really nice, and but it wasn't Destin. It was, and I've been to Miami. It's not Destin. Yeah, and I that's the thing. So back in the day, because we had started going to Destin probably about 26, 27 years ago. And I loved it. I always love places where people don't really bother you. I don't mind meeting new people. I love networking, but when I'm on vacation, I just like to have peace of mind. Just, you over there, we may say hello, we may not, and I'm okay with that. But some places it's like, you know, everyone wants to talk and chatter, or you even just hearing other people's talk and chatter can sometimes work my nerves a little bit. I see Rudy is still putting the time up. Thank you for that. And I haven't been to St. Petersburg Beach. I haven't. I've been to a beach in Jacksonville. I've been to Daytona, but I haven't been to St. Petersburg. I haven't. Um, but Destin back in those days was so peaceful and quiet, and maybe because we always would go during the off season, like not when a lot of people were there. I love going places in September when school is just starting back and just having that access like that. But at any rate, and we would also go like in April and May, that those are good months too, because if you go July, August, June, sometimes it can be very crowded. But the last time I went to Destin, which was I didn't go last summer. I don't know why I didn't go last summer, but the summer before last, I think because I was up in New York quite a bit last summer. But the summer before last when I went, it was very crowded and I was just like, "Oh my goodness." I told too many people and I'm acting like all these people came because of me. But I did start seeing license plates from other places like North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey. And I've just listen, I'm thinking and I'm taking responsibility for that. I think that I'm the reason that they came because I look at Destin, it's like we have some really nice areas here in Charlotte and a lot of beach towns, not a lot, but some beach towns can be a little seedy where, it's just very touristy. All the stores, it'll be those huge buy your beach chair, your beach blanket, towel, whatever, your pail, and it'll be these huge stores and putt putt golf and on the side of the main road you'll see those putt putt golf locations where they have those fake blue green waterfalls and such. And I just don't like that. I don't prefer it. And Destin reminds me of some really nice places here in Charlotte, where um you can just like live, work, and play. And it's really nice, upscale boutiques, really, comfortable family style restaurants, but also some high end if you want. Just some, it has like a laid back, you see bookstores, I can see myself living there. It doesn't, it feels like vacation, but it doesn't feel like a seedy vacation. It feels like, yeah, if they had a house here that I liked, I would like to get that. And you say that you prefer this beach because it's not tourist filled. Okay. I might have to check out St. Petersburg. Most people go to Clearwater, Miami, and Sarasota. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I just wasn't impressed with Clearwater. The sand. For me, it's everything. It's the sand, it's the water. And if you could just see the sand at Destin just once, if I could show you, I don't know if you can see it, you probably won't be able to, but like my screensaver, let me try and take your comment down. Let me see. You probably won't be able to see it. Nope. You can't. My screensaver is Destin, and I have an iPhone. And this particular screensaver, when I first glance at it, the water's actually moving. It's just a picture of, and it's so beautiful. Every time I look at it, the water is moving. It's like rolling up on the shoreline. It just makes me want to go there. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to go this summer and I'm looking forward to it for sure. So I did look up what the sand in Destin is made out of, and it says that the sand in Destin, Florida is primarily made up of tiny quartz crystals that have eroded from the Appalachian Mountains over thousands of years ago. The quartz particles were carried down by rivers like the Appalachia River. I know I'm saying that wrong. And deposited along the Gulf Coast, forming the iconic sugar white beaches. I'm telling you the beaches are like sugar. It's like powdered sugar. The sand is nearly 100% pure quartz, which gives it the brilliant white color and fine powdery texture. I'm telling you, um, as the quartz as the quartz grains rub against each other when walked on, it creates distinctive squeaking sound. The quartz sand also stays cooler and regular sand by reflecting the sun's heat. So remember, I said no matter how hot it is, that sand is always so cool. So you can absolutely walk on it with your bare feet. Because I know some sands, like if you go to like a Virginia Beach, Myrtle Beach type of thing, and you walk on the sand, you better have some flip flops or some type of water shoes on because it it's really hot. It feels like it's burning. This unique sand formation processes began over 20,000 years ago as the last ice age ended and glacial melt from the Appalachians carried the quartz downstream. The Apalachicola River continues depositing new quartz sediment today, replenishing the white sand along the Emerald Coast beaches. So, Marlene, I'm trying to tell you, when I say that Destin has the most beautiful beaches in the United States, and that goes for Hawaii. Hawaii is beautiful, but the beaches are not. The sand is really dark because of the volcanoes. Any type of volcanic, however you want to say it, area, the sand will never be white because the ashes and stuff accumulates whenever a volcano erupts or whatever, and it settles on the sand and makes it darker, just a little bit darker. Let's see. Marlene is saying that okay, and Destin is about 4 hours from you. I'm trying. You need to go. Just go. Like I do 4 hours all the time. My father's 4 hours from me going north. My daughter in where she's at is 4 hours from me going south. And I'll do 4 hours in a day. That's nothing to me. I'll do that in a day. Heck, one time, and Destin is about 9 hours from me. One time I just needed to go. I just needed it in my soul, but I didn't have the time to stay. And me and my kids got in the car early one morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And we got there, I don't know, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Let me see, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Look at me trying to do math. And we hung out at the beach until about 7, and then we went and got something to eat and came right back home. We all had, we all were drivers. I see Slasher Chickens in the building. Hello to you. I hadn't seen if you went live or not. I hadn't looked at YouTube. I was looking at the Hunger Games, the new version of the Hunger Games. I always like the Hunger Game series, but I'm not feeling this new one. So I see everyone is speaking. Oh, okay. So you did go live. So I'm going to definitely go check you out. Thank you so much for the congratulations. I'm trying to tell you, Destin is the place to be. It's just a great place. You can walk around. I feel very safe there. They have nice resorts. They have nice Airbnbs, beautiful homes. Definitely a good place. And you know what? Destin is so special until when there are hurricanes, Destin is one of the first places that they make sure is straight. They make sure Destin is straight. They do. Let's see. And you're saying you're an hour from Orlando, 15 from Tampa, and 30 minutes from. Oh, so when I was in Clearwater, I wasn't that far from you. We were in Orlando. It was for my daughter's last spring break. It's my last spring break as a mom. And so we went to Epcot. I think Epcot is a good Disney park if you have some grown-ups with you. I couldn't imagine bringing my kids to Epcot if I had small children. I mean, there were a lot of small children there for sure, but other than like their SeaWorld area where you can go, and I do have quite a few videos from when I was there, but other than going to the aquarium, and then they have this like Nemo ride, and this is before, because my daughters was like all about Epcot. They were like, oh, we want to go to Epcot. They have all these different countries that are represented. We can try the food and try their drinks and desserts and everything. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to go hungry. We're going to come out full. And so when we first got in, it was the aquarium and everything. And so I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, where's the food? And they said, it's here somewhere, and it seemed like everywhere we walked, it was a dead end. And so we kept trying to find it. And then we were on like the little Nemo ride. And I'm like, this is cute, but I wasn't expecting this. And so we eventually found where the food and the countries were, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. Yes, that would be. So when we did that that drive, it was a fun beach day. I sometimes I just need I can sit out anywhere. I can sit out by the lake. I can sit out anywhere and soak up sun. But the way the sun hits, especially at Destin with the white sand and that water, it just the energy is so high. It's amazing. You never got into Hunger Games? Yeah, I want to say the first one was the best. I was okay with the second, but this one that they have out, it's weird. I don't prefer it. But I did hear Bad Boys 3 is coming out in June, and I think it's June, and I hear it is so good. People that got the premiere, that went to the premiere, they said it's the best series or the best one in this series. So I can't wait till that comes out. I'm definitely gonna go see it. My son took me to go see Planet of the Apes last Friday, and I love the Planet of the Apes, and that one was really good. It really was. And I don't know if it was really good because I just love the Planet of the Apes, or if it was really good. Um, Yes, you should go. September is a good time of the year to go. Right now is good too. Anytime is good because again, the sand is never hot, and even the temperature, because you know how it is, and I'm sure where you are too, Marlene. Because you're by the ocean, it doesn't get but so hot, which is a good thing. That's one of the pluses, that the water is still warm in the fall. Oh yeah, definitely. Now, we used to go to the Jersey Shore when I was growing up, and I loved it. We used to go to I'm not Destin. We used to go to Wildwood City Crescent. What was it called? Wildwood Crescent or Crescent Wildwood? I can't remember, but it was the Jersey Shore, and we would always go around Labor Day because my parents were like, this water is not going to get warm until August because, up north, it stays cold for so long. And then the sun has to heat the water. And it's over time that it heats the water because even at night in the summer, it can be a little on the cool side. So it's not until like August, but coming down south, oh yeah, you could be in the water till October for sure. And I know where Marlene is, you can be in the water probably all year. Now, Destin, even though it's on the Gulf, it gets kind of cool. I look at the temperature all the time and compare it to where I am, and often it's similar to Charlotte's temperature, and I'm surprised. I'll be like, huh, the temperature is around the same as it is here. Yes, Epcot is yes, it is for the adults. That's why I couldn't understand when I saw so many kids there. I was like, well, I mean, I guess they like to eat, but as much as let me tell y'all, it costs a nice little bit to get into any Disney park, but Epcot was a grip. It was you need to have a whole stack. I mean, if you want to enjoy yourself at Epcot, and if it's like three or more people, you need at least $1,000 at least. I want to say, to do everything, to get in, to eat, to drink, to do all the things you want to do. Um, you don't like tourist attraction? Yeah, it's a lot. You got to really have your head on a swivel. You don't know, especially Disney parks, people coming from all over the world, literally, to go to them. When my son was younger, like 3, 4, 5, 6, we used to go to Disney parks in September. His birthday, September 25th. So we used to go around his birthday and celebrate it there, and it was always so wonderful because it was before they started school. My kids started school. And so most people were in school, and literally the five of us could walk hand in hand going across. We never had to wait on lines or anything to get on rides. It was really good. I can't wait till Bad Boys 3 too. I heard such good reviews about it, such good information. Yeah. No, you're not weird for not liking most things that are popular. Mm-mm. No, I'm a timeless person myself. Yeah, Universal used to be our favorite. We used to always go make sure we went to Universal. But now that, all my kids are young adults, I love Epcot. That is my spot. That is my spot for sure. April to September. The water is warm in Florida. But Miami, wouldn't Miami be like all year warm? Oh, okay, you get different prices. That's good. And I know the NFL used to give discounts and also those fast passes or whatever. And we just hadn't gone enough, like since our kids got older, to take advantage of it. And or we always were like spur of the moment type of people. We could be driving down the street one day and say, let's go to Florida. Let's go to Disney World. And we would just go. Oh my goodness. It was crazy when our kids were little. They would just end up, they would take a nap. We would be driving around. They would take a nap and wake up in a whole different situation. But we don't do planning well. We don't plan ahead too well. Like even for this weekend, going to my daughter's graduation, I know I should have been gotten reserved a hotel, but I didn't, and it's okay because I know I'm gonna get one. So that's just how I do. It's so bad, I just sometimes go with the flow, and I'm always thinking, I'm gonna find something else that's gonna be a better location, or just I don't know. I just like to roll up and be like, "Do you have two rooms, or do you have a room? What's going on?" And usually they do, and it works out. So I'm hopeful that it'll work out for this weekend too. She does have an apartment, but I'm not trying to stay with her in her apartment. I want to just kind of be, in the hotel. And so this way, I know she has some graduation activities to do, and maybe her siblings will go with her or whatever. And that's what they call each other, the siblings. But at any rate, yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. You a planner, Marlene? Yeah, my center child is, so I can't even tell her that I don't have the room yet or anything. That we just gonna wing it. She'll probably end up staying with her sister anyway, but she's definitely that planner. And so even going to like Epcot or to Florida, she knew exactly what we were going to do each day. She knew what the weather was and her outfits and all of that. And I'm just like, I don't know. I saw that it wasn't going to rain, and I figured we were in Florida, so it's going to be warm. So I'm rocking with this. This is what I'm wearing. And that's kind of how I did that. But I just wanted to come on here and chit chat and honor this challenge, this 90-day challenge. And also, y'all, if y'all have any thoughts on May, I did do a short about what's going on with May, but if y'all have any thoughts of why does it seem like this month in particular is going by so fast? I know that 2024 as a whole, because we're almost in FY25. Can you believe it? The fiscal year is almost over. But, if you are wondering what's going on with May, why is it moving so fast? And if you have any ideas, I mean, they said that the older you get, the quicker life seems to pass you by. But I'm just trying to take and seize every moment. hmm You don't do well spontaneously, Marlene. Yes, and you plan your outfits. Thank you so much for the congratulations. We are excited. This is our third child that's graduating from college. We are 3 out of 3. Our children are our ancestors' wildest dreams. I always think about our ancestors that were not allowed to learn even how to read. They would be beaten or even killed if they were caught with a book or with letters. And here we are with 3 young adults that are now college graduates. And not that I'm not saying college is for everyone, because it absolutely is not, at least not right out of high school. There's other post-secondary credentials that you can gain that will help you with a career or with your business. And sometimes, high school, they try to push you in one direction or another, and you just may not know. And so, college is an investment. And if you're not quite sure which direction you want to go, sometimes it is best to go into the workforce or even to the military to figure things out. Because I work with plenty of adults that's been in the workforce for 25, 30 plus years. And they're at a point in their life where they're like, you know what? I do want to get a degree and I know exactly what I want to get it in. I love what I do. I'm great at what I do, but I've hit a ceiling. And in order to pivot upwards, I'm going to have to get a piece of paper. And so it's exciting to see them make that decision to go back to school after so many years. And they're at a point too where, growing up, they were always told they would never be able to get a degree. And they always thought the degrees were for them over there. They were for the A students or whatever. And they're actually in a situation when I'm working with them to go for free to get at least their associate's degree for free with no money out of pocket. And so that is exciting. That's beyond their wildest dreams. Something they never thought would be for them. And I'm always like, think about that teacher that said you couldn't, you wouldn't. Think about that auntie, that family member that laughed at you and thought that you wasn't going to amount to anything. And look at you going to college, getting an associate degree for free, and have a career that's thriving and growing and evolving. And you are a major contributor and you are gainfully employed. Like, what? So, sometimes as a young person, going to college may not make sense. So that's okay too. But I'm saying for me and mine did go. It made sense for them, and they are actually third generation. My in-laws both have degrees. My husband, myself, my mother, she went back and got her associates. I remember when I was a little girl, her going back to school and doing her best to get her business administration because she was working in the business with my father and was going to do the bookkeeping and the business side of things. My mother was a phenomenal businesswoman. She really, really was. So again, when it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So when you can align it to something that you absolutely like, and there are so many things out here, so many programs of study, so many courses you can take, certifications. I know someone who was able to write and receive a $30 million grant. I was like, and she's so like, yep, like it is nothing. I'm like, girl, I mean, I know people that have gotten, a million, 4 million, maybe even up to $5 million in grants, and 30 million. And so when I saw that she got that, I knew, oh yeah, there's money out there. So I took a grant writing course. Heck, I know how to get angel funding, but sometimes you want to get that grant money. There's a lot of grant money, especially if you are doing something remarkable, a great program that's going to impact the community, anything around sustainability, workforce development, anything that's a new initiative, electric vehicles, all that. There's a lot of grant money out there. So definitely you want to take advantage of it. But grants are nothing to play with. You need to know how to write one and how to manage it once you get it, because you have to distribute it appropriately. It's not a money grab. It's not a get rich quick scheme at all. You definitely have to use it for what you have laid out. And what I've noticed is there's a lot of organizations out here getting these big contracts, and they are using most of the money for administration, for salaries and not necessarily for programming. And I'm like, yo, what is really going on out here? But those types of things, they come back and not in a good way. So whatever you do, if you get some extra funding for what you're doing, definitely handle it appropriately. And so you getting your bachelor's degree, just taking your time. Yes. And that's what I tell people, it's not about the quickest, the swiftest one doesn't always win the race. It's the ones that endure. So taking one class at a time, you'll look up, next thing you know, you'll be halfway done. The next thing you know, you will be done, but staying on course, even if it's one class at a time. And many schools now, within a semester, they have many opportunities for you to start. See, back in the day when I was going to school, you could only start in August or January, and that was it. And they would have a summer session as well, but basically the semesters would be, the fall would start in August and the spring would start in January. But now many schools have, I have let me see. But now many schools have where you can start in August, but you can start in October, November. You can start in January, but you can also start in February, March, April, May. There's many times you can start. So you don't even have to take all your classes at once. You can take your classes, like start a class in August, then start another class in October. So maybe they overlap, or maybe that August class will be over in October. Either way, you're not overwhelming yourself, because it's all about work life balance. And what I've noticed is, especially as adults go back to school, if they start feeling a little bit of pressure, just a little bit, like a little bit of overwhelmness, the first thing they'll do is stop going to school. So that's why you need to just take your time, and it will get done. I heard this morning, I think he's 93 or 96 years old, this man who is learning a new language. And they were saying, like, he has learned, I forget, maybe like 8 new languages since he's been 80 years old. And, again, you're never too old to learn. Let me see. Good. By next year. What is your degree, your program of study? Then you're gonna go for your master's? That's awesome. Yeah, okay. They are going to be so proud of you for sure. Hmm. Yes, you have to do what you have to do in your own time, and map it out and be intentional with it. You are so right, Slasher Chick. And everybody's path is different, but it may end up in the same spot, but the way you get there is the way you get there, and that's for you, and that's for you to decide. And I tell people that too. Don't look to your left or to your right. Just look straight ahead. Don't look behind you either. Look straight ahead, because your path is your path. I remember when my freshman year in college, and they gather you all up. We have what's called freshman week, and that's the week before any of the upperclassmen come. So the freshmen get to know each other. They get acclimated to the campus, and it's a good time. I had a great time freshman week. I had a really good time. But yeah. So when we were sitting in this like, what was it? I guess it was like an auditorium. I don't know where we were sitting. It might have been the chapel. And they said, look to your left, look to your right. And they said, they probably won't be here with you 4 years from now, because that's the odds, I guess. 1 out of 3 people will make it. And that's just real interesting, because as you looking, they looking at you. So it's like, who's it going to be, you or me? Why can't it be all of us, though? And I went to a small HBCU school. It's a very small school. It's the first and oldest. They just had their 165th commencement. It's 170 years old. It's the first degree granting HBCU in the country. And because it was so small, it was very, I feel like everyone held each other accountable. Everyone really championed for each other. If you were in a major, you knew everybody in your major, and you were supportive with projects, and just, come on, we could do it. You got to study. Let's study together. It was that type of thing. So when I looked to my left and to my right, when I graduated, it was a lot of the same people that I had seen my freshman week. And so that was a good thing, and even if it wasn't, um, even if people didn't finish because they started, they still were kind of considered part of the alumni. They weren't the official alumni because they didn't graduate from there, but they still were part of the family. I know our alumni association that's here in North Carolina, there's people that didn't graduate, and they're very active in it, and that's fine, because they're still part of the family. It's one of those, you made that first choice, your right choice, and we love you anyway. We understand life happens, and maybe you couldn't finish because of situations, circumstances, whatever, but we still embrace you. And that is love, y'all. That's love. That's unconditional love right there. That's saying, you know what? We love you still. We love you anyway. And that's a good feeling. It really is. So, there's no judgment over there. But y'all, I appreciate you all for rocking with me. I got to get myself together for tomorrow. We have to leave early in the morning. Whew, it's going to be a fun weekend, but it's going to be a long weekend. I know. I'm going to see some dear friends as well, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to celebrate my daughter, and I need to say our daughter because it was my husband and I. I hadn't. It was not me for sure. It was God, His daughter. I'm just the vessel. She was the gift He gave to us. So, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all three of my young adults, y'all. I'm telling you, if you have children, especially multiples, definitely figure out what makes them, what makes them unique, and honor that, and let them know what you see in them, and let them know often. Don't just be one and done with it. Oh, I told them that already. No, continuously tell them what makes them so special, because they're all different in different ways, and they need to know how they are different. Because oftentimes when you have more than one child, people always put them in the same box, in the same pool. Oh, those are those kids, but I want them to know, yeah, those are those three, but this one right here, or that one right there, this one right next to me, oh yeah, no, this is what they are, and it's all different, and I love it. And it's all different, but yet still the same, because at the end of the day, at the end of it all, they are great young people. Young people that if I was their age, I would have been honored to know them. And it's so funny, my center child, who I spend a lot of time with, when she was growing up, when she was young, like as early as 3 years old, the way that she was as a 3-year old, I knew. I was like, that one right there, me and her would be best friends if I was her age. It's something about her which is like so interesting. So yeah, it's really interesting. Yes, did not do it by myself, not at all. I'm not even trying to take even a little bit of credit. I used to always tell my husband, like, he's such a better husband, I mean, a better father than I was as a mother to me, because he really did a lot for our kids. Like, he still is a great father. Like, oh my goodness. And I make sure that my kids don't forget that. Like, y'all, your dad, he's so good to y'all. He's good to us. A great man. So don't sleep on that. That's not common all the time. Even for a mother. I mean, I did what I could. I'm non-traditional in that way a little bit. Um, I'm interesting. I don't cook and stuff like that. So, but I they know I love them. They know that I'm the type of mother, like, if there's a tantrum being had, is me giving the tantrum. So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. But they love me so much, and I love them so much. All right. So thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time. And I'm hopeful by before the end of this 90-day challenge that I will have a set schedule, and you'll know there's the sure shot that, on every day, or even Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Coach Sherry comes on live at this time. And it's funny because my son told me I really need to do that. He said, Mom, people may watch you and enjoy what they see and want to be part of it. And it would be helpful if they knew what time each day they could be part of it, instead of just, trying to shoot a shot in the dark and figure it out. And I know that, but I listen, and I see you over there, Slasher Chick. You have your scheduled times, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna catch her. 5:07, what? And then it's like 5:30 or something. And I'm like, yeah, me and Slasher Chick, our schedules are like that. We live in life out here. We outside living life. All right. So everyone, remember, practice really hard. So every day when you get that opportunity, you will be so comfortable. Oh, let me tell you this. Wait. So yes, I know, because he told me. Yes, we're trying to get it together. We are. We're getting it together for sure. So listen, there was, because this is the thing. So when I'm doing career coaching, and especially for someone that's trying to pivot within their career, if they tell me, Coach Sherry, I have been applying to jobs, but there has never, I don't get any calls, I'll be like, it's your resume. If they tell me, Coach Sherry, I've been applying to jobs and I get the interview, but then I don't hear anything else, then I say, well, your resume is good, it's your interview skills. So this one guy, he told me that. He said, I get the interview, but then I don't hear anything. And I said, okay, let's do interview preparation. So we did, because he said, I just don't feel comfortable going into too much detail about the things I do, and I feel like I'm not giving them enough information. I said, you absolutely are not. So I taught him the STAR technique, and I gave him my transferable skills worksheet so he can write down all the great things he's ever done. And I said, the thing about an interview, yes, you're going to be nervous. Don't tell them you're nervous because it's obvious. I mean, that's a given. And that's okay. But there's two types of nervous. There's that nervous because you didn't prepare, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what you're going to say, you don't feel prepared. But then there's that nervous, that exciting nervous that you, because you prepared, you like, uh-huh, oh yeah, I hope they ask me this because I'm gonna tell them that. What? I can't wait. But you're nervous because you're just so excited. And I said, that's the level you want to be when you go on an interview. But the only way you're going to be that way is if you practice. Now, if you think you're going to start practicing the day before the interview, that's not going to work. You need to start the minute you apply, you see that job, you look at the job description, you checking off everything or highlighting everything that you have done, can do, want to learn how to do, interested in, and you highlighting the whole thing. That's when you start practicing, because that's when you start remembering those things you've done, even if it wasn't for that industry or that type of position, but something very similar. That's when you start writing down those examples, because those are the things that you're going to share in that interview. People tell, stories sell. So you want to tell that story. You want to set it up so that they know you absolutely had done that before. You weren't just in the building. You weren't in the room watching other people do what you're trying to do. You actually were doing it, and you're giving them great stories, great examples of when and how you did it and the end results. And so that same guy had an interview for a position that will be like a whole career pivot for him. Like it's a I've done an interest assessment with him, and he is absolutely not doing currently the job that he has an interest in, skill set for, and just he needs to pivot. And he told me, because he's a mature, seasoned man, and he said, listen, he said, um, I want to change my career. I really know that there's something better in me, and I want to do it. I'm so warm. I should have turned the air. Okay, somebody. I'm getting excited. That's why I'm getting excited. Because listen, so he said, I want to do something else, but listen, I'm of a certain age. I gotta make sure every shot I take count. I said, I know that's right. He said, I'm not trying to shoot in the wrong basket. I'm not trying to hit the rim, the front of the rim. I'm trying to hit, I need to do bank shots or all net, something like that. I just got to make sure. And I said, I got you. I got you. I got you. And so we found out the career path. He went back to school. He got some certifications. He's going for his associates. I connected him with professionals doing that work. He had exploration interviews with them. They loved him. Social capital increase. He did some shadowing. They brought him in on meetings. He met people doing it. What? And so he had an interview with a whole nother organization, another industry, let's say. And he emailed me the other day and was like, I had the interview and I feel like I did so well. I was excited. I was nervous, but I was excited. And I feel like I was able to answer the questions with great examples. What? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, yes. People tell, stories sell. Listen, I love marketing, and that was one of the key phrases. I remember one of my marketing teachers said, and I will never forget that. And that was from 1,000 years ago. That was from the 1900s when I was in college. And that's what they said. They said, people tell, stories sell. Absolutely. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. Yes. That makes me feel so good. That's what this world is all about. That's what this life is all about. That's legacy right there. That's that's for his legacy. This going to be a game changer for his family. This is something that he can teach the people, the young people that are coming up behind him. Oh, y'all, for real. That's transformation. Absolutely. That's more than inspiration. That's more than motivation. That's transformation. And that's the type of coach that I am. I like to transform. I can inspire you. Yeah, I can. But to me, that's words. I can motivate you. I sure can. But that's words. I'm all about the transformation. I'm about the actions and giving you the blueprint and you helping me, not me just giving it to you, but you right there helping me. Like, does this make sense? Is this you? Is it you? All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, everyone. Thanks for letting me go on and talk about that. If you are here, I know it's about 25, 30,000 people watching this replay. I appreciate it because this right here is evergreen. And so this is the gift that keeps on giving. But I appreciate you all for being here, especially those that were here live. I know Slasher Chick was in the building. Marlene Motivates was in the building. Thank you. Rudy was in here giving us timestamps. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all that support. The ones that couldn't type in, because I understand if you're watching this on TV and you probably like, wow, Coach Sherry turned red when she get excited. I do. I do. I do. Um, but the ones that could not, make it into the chat, after this recording is uploaded, please be sure to go into the comment section and just leave a comment of what you enjoyed most about this video, this Friday live stream. Until we speak again, everyone stay safe. I am Coach Sherry.